What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to MKE Maniaci. Long time no see. Today, we got 10 ways WWE has dropped the ball since WrestleMania 39 from What Culture, man. Now listen, we about what? It's already about 6 months removed from WrestleMania. You know, the night that we thought Cody Rhodes was gonna win the championship. You know the championship that has only been defended one time since WrestleMania, but that's video for another time. We gonna check out 10 different ways that the WWE is just let us down. They could have done more, but they didn't. Let's get it.
The most frustrating thing about the majority of these WWE post-WrestleMania 39 fumbles is the fact that they could have likely been avoided with the simplest of tweaks. But the biggest wrestling promotion on the planet had other ideas. So I am Gareth here from What Culture Wrestling, and here are 10 ways WWE has dropped the ball since WrestleMania 39. Number 10, Ronda Rousey's exit should have felt like a bigger deal. Ronda Rousey never really found a way to recapture her ferocious and mesmerizing rookie year energy during her return run with WWE. There were a few unquestionable hits scattered across that 18-month inconsistent period, of course, but WWE spent too long trying to force the former UFC bantamweight champion into a babyface role fans had no real interest in getting behind. However, there did appear to be one last flicker of hope heading into this year's SummerSlam, with Rousey and longtime pal Shayna Baszler imploding at Money in the Bank. After bullying the overlooked tag division from Mania 39 onwards, it looked like the latter could at least be made to feel like a genuine superstar by taking out Ronnie in what was shaping up to be the baddest woman on the planet's final fight with the company. While WWE did do a decent job of building this friends turned enemies MMA rules summer showdown via some captivating video packages and interview segments, the puzzling and rather lackluster grappling match that arrived in Detroit unfortunately just didn't make Rousey's exit feel all that important.
It's the thing was, when I was in attendance at SummerSlam, nobody cared about this match. I do agree with what he said. It should have been used as a way to elevate Shayna Baszler back up the card. I feel like they should have probably picked somebody else for that to be, build up a new woman star. Have somebody, that's up and coming, take Ronda Rousey out. Somebody like Zoe Stark would have been cool. Would the crowd would have cared more? Probably not. I feel like at this point, the audience was just checked out with Ronda Rousey for real. She didn't have the same mystique about her that she did back in 2018. That's just the way, it is with, wrestling fans nowadays. We kind of just lose. I don't know, like Ronda, we see through Ronda, we see through her promos, we see through her in-ring work. It's just, I don't know. It's a different era now, man.
Or Baszler looked like a genuine killer when all was said and done. What a waste. But while we're talking about Ronda Rousey, what was your favorite Rousey match in WWE? Let me know in the comment section right down below.
I'll say WrestleMania 35, the main event. That was dope.
Number 9, LA Knight should have won Money in the Bank or a title by now. There's certainly a whole lot to love about the idea of Senor Money in the Bank Damian Priest eventually getting his hands on a world title. That being said, there was undoubtedly only one man the folks inside of the O2 Arena and watching all around the world desperately wanted to unhook that life-changing briefcase. Joining another unfortunate top babyface who has fallen victim to Triple H's good things come to those who wait booking style post-WrestleMania 39. Don't worry, we'll get there. What felt like another natural step towards LA Knight becoming one of the most popular stars in modern history was ignored in London. Then WWE just had the ridiculously over smack talker fail to get past the semi-final stage in a US title tournament shortly after. Sure, a Slim Jim win in a battle royal and a mildly entertaining Miz program have both kept the super popular hero somewhat busy, and there's always a chance WWE could suddenly decide to properly pull the trigger on the much-loved Yeah Man tomorrow. However,
the thing is with LA Knight, I feel, and I feel like I was going too hard on him about the Money in the Bank thing. If he had won Money in the Bank, I will admit it would have brought a lot more, intrigue to, when he was going to cash it in. It's inevitable the guy is going to be a main event star. He's going to be a world champion. He's probably one of the highest paid on the roster at the moment. Another missed opportunity, as mentioned, the United States Championship thing. You could have easily done at SummerSlam Austin Theory versus LA Knight for the, for the U.S. Championship. I mean, there's been a lot of different times. I just don't understand what they're doing. Do they see this guy as a big deal right now? Or do they see him as a big deal, later on down the line? I just feel like it's very slow booking. And I kind of respect it because, you don't want them to shove them all the way down our throats. Sounds crazy. Pause. But at the same time, though, you got to keep in mind, like, this is how you create a new star. This is how you make a new star. Sometimes give him a title, give him the Money in the Bank, give him something. Luckily, he's been able to hold his own without a briefcase or without a championship. So, maybe that was a risk that they wanted to take to see if he could actually do it. And he's doing it.
Could suddenly decide to properly pull the trigger on the much-loved Yeah Man tomorrow. However, there's no getting away from the fact that having Knight strut around with that briefcase, or pick up a massive title win at the time when the character was the hottest thing in the game, would have made his past few months a lot more memorable. Number 8, the World Heavyweight Championship doesn't feel as important as it should. Seth Rollins has definitely done everything in his power to make his big gold baby feel like the biggest prize Monday Night Raw has to offer. It's just a shame he's attempting to be the Red Show's resilient fighting champion at a time when the magnificent Gunther is enjoying the longest and arguably the greatest Intercontinental Championship reign of all time. That's not the only reason why the Visionaries belt doesn't feel anywhere near as special and valuable as it should at this precise moment in time, though. Pretty much presented as a consolation prize in the wake of WrestleMania 39 for all those who couldn't get the job done against the Tribal Chief over the last few years.
It is not a consolation prize. Please stop saying it. I want to say this. I don't know what the issue is with the World Heavyweight Championship. It's not like they don't have contenders for it, but for some reason they're not giving Cody Rhodes a shot at it. They're not giving Gunther a shot at it. It's like, I mean, it's cool seeing Shinsuke, and I honestly thought they were going to pull the trigger on Shinsuke Nakamura at Fastlane. I thought, Shinsuke was going to win it, but that wouldn't even have elevated it. Seth is the perfect guy for it, but I fear that it's going through the same thing it went through, over a decade ago when it was, when Alberto Del Rio was the champion. Like, it doesn't have the same prestige that it had when Triple H and Goldberg were going at it for it, or when Randy Orton won it in 2004 and Batista had it. It doesn't have that same prestige, and I wish that it did. And I feel like the only way I feel like they could fix this, they need to go back to brand exclusive pay-per-views. If you do that, it makes the World Heavyweight Championship more important. Yes, it's been main event in the last couple of pay-per-views, but damn it, give Raw their own pay-per-views back, give SmackDown their own pay-per-views back. I know a lot of people not a fan of that, but it has to happen. That's the only thing. I don't know.
This new world title strap was on the level of Roman Reigns' belt, even if each and every main event battle over it was an instant classic. So the fact many of Rollins' defenses haven't been anywhere near as memorable as the Ring Generals, and WWE haven't done the work to present the top title as the equal to the undisputed Universal Championship, only giving it the PLE main event spot whenever Roman is sat at home with his feet up, have both led to the belt losing its uphill battle up to this point. Number 7, the Women's Tag Team Championships still feel inessential.
Facts.
After Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez were able to prize the often overlooked women's tag team titles away from Becky Lynch and her substitute partner Trish Stratus during April 10th's Raw, an injury to the former would lead to the titles being on the line in a 4-way match that was eventually won by Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. However, the Queen of Spades suddenly stabbing her partner in the back during one of their defenses, each of the reigns post-Mania 39 not lasting long enough to make that much of an impact, and numerous co-champions unfortunately going down injured has resulted in the titles feeling more unimportant than ever before. And that is saying something. The odd couple of Chelsea Green and Piper Niven do at least possess the sort of hilarious chemistry that could make the titles a charming and enjoyable element of weekly WWE programming. But if WWE really want to make these straps feel anywhere near as prestigious as their male counterparts, then it's about time they actually committed to a long-term or just compelling feud feud over the titles that haven't felt essential since the Thunderdome era. Number 6, Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus's legendary feud fails to deliver. The story was right there. Trish Stratus was fed up of not being thanked for her part in paving the way for the women of today in the industry, and took those frustrations out on a Becky Lynch who she felt had wrongly taken credit for starting the women's revolution. Sadly though, what could have been a gripping battle between two of the biggest legends in all of women's wrestling ended up becoming a drawn-out and uninspiring feud. Eventually bringing Zoe Stark in as the WWE Hall of Famer's hard-hitting sidekick was an intelligent call at least, with the one-time NXT talent getting the chance to connect with the main roster audience alongside two of the company's top names. However, the man and her iconic rival didn't really click in the majority of their encounters or promo back and forths, and WWE's refusal to give them the SummerSlam stage this rivalry that properly started a week after Mania 39 needed left tired audiences begging for its conclusion by the time Payback came around.
Yeah, I feel like, they definitely should have had the SummerSlam match. I enjoyed their steel cage match. I think that was pretty cool. Them, like you said, putting Zoe Stark in it, smart idea. But my thing is, what is Zoe Stark doing right now? It looked like she's forming a team with Shayna, but that should have been used to catapult Zoe Stark up a little bit, man. But I don't know if it's just the nostalgia, but I feel like the feud wasn't that bad. I think their feud really wasn't that bad. I feel like there was just a couple of missed opportunities. It was stretched out way too long, but actually, personally, I feel like it was a pretty decent feud. I think the women's division need more feuds like this. You need more meaningful, maybe long-term feuds, man.
And it was here when the two top-class workers finally reminded folks what they were truly capable of during a brutal steel cage war. If only WWE had booked this captivating finale a few months before this dream program had completely ran out of steam, eh? Number 5, what was the point of the draft? Each and every year, WWE go out of their way to hammer home the importance of their landscape.
And speaking of the draft, why are there still Raw and SmackDown tag team champions? Like, what is the point of this? Everybody else got a new title, but the tag titles are still the same as titles, man.
Changing draft. After this now 2-night extravaganza, stars could find themselves on a brand new home, pulled away from their old show and dumped into a world of fresh, exciting possibilities. Completely undermining that concept within a few months though, the likes of AJ Styles, LA Knight and The Miz all suddenly popped up on their rival
shows,
TV show for the hell of it.
This is what I mean though, and I know a lot of fans don't know about this, man, but back in the day, I know I sound old. You guys need to get over that era. It's over. I know. But back in the day, when you were on Raw, you were on Raw. When you were on SmackDown, your ass stayed on SmackDown. You was not, I'm going to go do this show. Don't get me wrong. Survivor Series, they might have some, you might cross paths, but damn, it's getting out of hand at this point. It's like, come on, man.
With WWE simply hoping the excited cheers would drown out those wondering why they bothered caring about the April/May shakeup in the first place. Just imagine how much more impactful Jey Uso's recent trade over to Raw would have been had the Awesome One and Megastar not been brand hopping around the same time, for example. Only allowing performers to arrive on another show when officially traded or cashing in their Money in the Bank/Royal Rumble win opportunity would actually make those April/May draft picks feel as monumental as WWE want you to believe they currently are. Number 4, not giving Rhea Ripley more substantial feuds after her big win. WrestleMania 39 was a hell of a night for the Judgment Day's Eradicator. However, that hard-hitting show stealer opposite Charlotte Flair on the grandest stage didn't actually kick off the sort of tremendous women's championship reign many had hoped to see from Rhea Ripley in the aftermath. Instead, the now women's world champion hasn't really been given the opportunity to get stuck into a meaty feud since toppling the Queen. Fights with Zelina Vega, Natalya and Raquel Rodriguez have all had their moments, but none of those undercooked programs have really made the star appear any more dominant or imposing than she already did walking out of this year's show of shows. And Ripley coming out on top in each of those largely unremarkable rivalries was never really in doubt, was it? In fact, the most compelling angles and storylines Ripley has found herself in post-Mania 39 have involved the Nightmare assisting dirty Dominic Mysterio and trying to keep her black and purple crew from turning on one another. So hopefully the recent arrival of the chaotic Nia Jax can finally be the significant and engaging challenge that starts to turn Ripley's rather forgettable title reign into a bloody brilliant one.
We really need that because, you know, Rhea, phenomenal champion. She's proven this in the past. She can hold the women's division. I don't know if they're obviously we're getting Rhea and Becky at WrestleMania, but you know, there's so many options there. I just don't want them to forget, oh, well, she's the women's world champ, but they're kind of treating her like she's a manager. And it's like, come on, like, she didn't have a match at SummerSlam. It's like, come on.
Number 3, Cody Rhodes has lost momentum after not finishing the story. You'd be lying if you said that Cody Rhodes currently feels anywhere near as hot as he did on the road to WrestleMania 39. He just doesn't. Now sure, the American Nightmare has still managed to make a ton of intriguing lemonade out of the infuriating lemons handed to him on April 2nd, with his Lesnar fight cementing his top star status, and contests opposite the various members of the Judgment Day always delivering a few moments of electricity, particularly post-SummerSlam though. The Mania 39 main event loser has increasingly felt annoyingly directionless, or like an accessory in someone else's story.
I want to say this. I feel, and this is just my opinion, RIP Bray Wyatt. Because I think, personally, as the SummerSlam build-up that was, you know, between Cody and Brock, I'm like, okay, Cody and Brock, the feud's going to end at SummerSlam. I thought for sure, you know, had Wyatt had come back, he would go after Cody Rhodes. This would lead to a fall program with Cody Rhodes and Bray Wyatt. I think it would have made for a great thing considering the history that both of them have. I feel like that's what I think they were going to do, but they had to kind of scrap plans because I think they had according to the sites, they had a plan in motion for, you know, planning to bring Bray back, and that would have been a perfect stage to do it. Cody and Bray have a feud probably until the end of the year. And that's why I feel like Cody Rhodes is so directionless, because it's kind of like he's kind of just in the middle of whatever's really going on. But yeah, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think that's where they were gonna go. But, you know, of course, tragic circumstances changed that. I feel like that's where they were going.
He aids the likes of Jey Uso and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in their ongoing clashes with the Black and Purple Monday Night Menaces. There's still hope that WWE can find a way to get Cody back on track heading into WrestleMania 40, of course, and have him finish the story he likely should have in Los Angeles. But the surprising return of a certain great one on SmackDown recently may have just delayed that overdue final chapter even further, and made the decision not to crown him at his most popular earlier this year seem even more baffling in hindsight. Number 2, the Bloodline saga hits a few speed bumps. It must be said that the Bloodline's collapse in the weeks that followed the show of shows was a thrilling watch for a while there, with Jimmy and Jey Usos turning on the cousin who had manipulated them for years, and the latter astonishingly pinning Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank being some of the most riveting moments of the year so far. The same cannot be said for the way much of the long-term story was handled during the SummerSlam main event, and weeks of SmackDown TV that came after that PLE though. On top of completely undermining the tribal combat stipulation that stated no one could interfere in Jey and Roman's fight until the honorable war was over, Jimmy's nonsensical heel turn on his twin, and uninteresting attempts to reunite with his other sibling Solo Sikoa and the tribal chief on the Blue Show, have somewhat derailed this once absorbing ride. Main event Jey got out at just the right time from the looks of things. Number 1, Roman Reigns has only defended his title once since Mania,
one time,
boasting a main event attraction that has held onto the gold for a staggering 1,000 plus days is a mighty achievement. But was it really worth sacrificing?
Easy when you have only defended it like 10 times.
Sacrificing everyone from Sami Zayn to the American Nightmare in order to keep Roman reigning long enough to hit that big number? Not a single chapter in the Bloodline saga that went down after WrestleMania 39 needed the undisputed WWE Universal Championship to tell the story. The freakishly popular Cody Rhodes or Zayn would have just as easily and effectively helped lead the company as the top champ during one of its most successful years to date alongside Reigns & Co.'s family drama, and fans would have likely been treated to more than a pitiful one Universal title defense since the show of shows. At time of recording, that is. The ratings have remained strong and the company have continued to break all their records after that disheartening conclusion to the biggest show of the year, sure, but everything that has happened in the months post Mania 39, outside of hitting that 4-digit number, could have likely still been achieved and then some with someone else holding the gold.
I feel like, you know, with Roman, His title run would have been way more impressive had he been there full time and defended it every single pay-per-view. And I understand, eventually you're gonna run through the entire roster. Pretty much ran through everybody that's just as relevant, but you could have found ways to do this. You could have found ways. It could have had that old school mentality, but it's just him doing the title defense, leaving for 2 months, doing another title defense, leaving for another 2 months. It doesn't make his championship run valid to me. Don't get me wrong, Roman Reigns is definitely, if he was there full time, I don't doubt that they would probably still keep this title on him as long as they have now. It's just, we need a full-time champion. It kind of makes the run look a little weak because you leave and it's like, nobody can challenge. And I get that WWE's very slick with it because you still got Solo, you still got Paul, Jimmy, and Jay. So, it's kind of like you still got pieces of Roman Reigns, but it's not Roman Reigns. So.
WWE just wanted that big 1-0-0-0, didn't they? And that's our list. Know of any other ways that WWE is...
All right, man. All right, y'all, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. Link down below in the description for y'all to check it out in its entirety with no interruptions. Y'all new to that channel, y'all rock with me. Hit that subscribe button for me, and until the next video, I'll see y'all then. Thank you for watching. MKE Maniaci. I'm out.